Okay, hey guys, what's up? It's the Game Matrix 1000. I know my first vid, part one, I said Kyle9965, but hey, cut me some slack. I've been used to saying it for so many months now, so you should understand. This is a new channel. Try to get used to it, people. Um, anyway, what I want to talk about was a few extra things I forgot to mention about WWE12 that I want to mention in this extra video here. Another positive thing I also want to mention about WWE12 is the difficulty level. The difficulty level of the AI on this game, it has stepped up from any of the series last year. They definitely have smartened up. Although even though it's on the normal level, it's still a little bit too easy for me. Like I said, a step up from last year, as we played last year on the normal level, but still a bit too easy if you're an experienced player. So if you're an experienced player, I recommend you bump up to hard or legend. Me, I prefer legend because I get more of a thrill, and like I said, you have very little chances of winning, but hey, it's still fun to play. So the intelligence of the AI in this year's game, I think, is another positive. Another thing I also like about this game is in the universe mode, how you have the momentum meter of superstars. So if you're playing a certain superstar and you're just like really climbing up through the ranks, your momentum will be really, really hot and high. And depending on how high or how low your momentum meter is, really plays an effect as to how your character plays, or not even the character you're playing in universe mode, but even the character that the AI may have control of in the universe mode. So if you're playing, Chavo Guerrero and his momentum meter is very low, he's going to be pretty much easy to beat. If you're playing Alberto Del Rio and his momentum meter is 50-50, there's a 50-50 chance he might lose, and then there's a 50-50 chance you might win. But if you're facing a Triple H and their momentum meter is maxed out all the way up high, just be prepared for your hands to be very sweaty and your thumbs to be sore by the end of the day, because it's going to be very hard to beat a superstar with momentum that high. So I like this because it adds another extra dynamic of difficulty into the gameplay. However, although the AI may have gotten smarter in terms of the competition and the people that you're competing against on the computer-wise, the AI is very stupid when it comes to the referee. There have been some times I've played this game and the referee would absolutely do some stupid stuff where he would just walk right out of the ring for no reason. Or if I'm pinning my opponent, the referee would just sit there for like 5 seconds, just standing there, and literally, it's no distractions or anything, but literally just standing there for 5 seconds, and it's like, the time it takes you standing here, you could have been counting, and I could have gotten the pin and the win on this match. But anyway, that's probably, like I said, a bug or something that TSQ can fix with the patch, can easily fix with the patch. Let's see. Another thing I also like about this game is the new, the submission, I don't know what they call it. Trying to figure out. The limb targeting system. That's what it is. The limb targeting system. This is really nice and really cool. It's kind of really a throwback to one of the old SmackDown vs. Raw games, where you can focus on a certain limb or joint and really put the hurting on that certain area. So if you're a high flyer like a Sin Cara, you can focus on his legs and really do a lot of damage and wear and tear on his legs, so that to slow him down a bit, he won't be running as fast. Or do a lot of damage into the upper chest area, or the head to make it bleed. Now you can bleed on here, but you have to turn the bleeding on because it's automatically off when you have the game. So I like this feature a lot. The targeting system is really great and really cool. I also like about this thing the new submission thing that they have called Breaking Point. This is really nice and really cool because say you're in the submission of Jack Swagger's ankle lock. One thing I like about this, not only the new Breaking Point system, but the fact that you can actually crawl to a ring rope to cause a rope break makes the whole submission system a little bit better and more fun to play, because it makes it more like an actual WWE ring. Because how many people, you've seen on WWE or just in wrestling in general, where as soon as you put them in a submission move, they're going to tap right away. Very rarely does that happen. Most of the time, you will see some struggle from the person who's locked in the submission, trying to crawl to the ropes to force a rope break. Well, you can do that in the WWE12 game. I like this a lot. Another great feature. Another thing I also like about this game is not only the in-depth roster, but also the many title belts that you can get in this game. There are over, I think, 23 championship belts you can get in this game. And some people may not consider this to be all that great, but hey, I like this feature a lot because I don't like the WWE Championship belt. And because in the Universe mode, they have the feature where you can assign whatever championship belts you want on what brand, I know I'm not going to be using the Spinner belt as my official #1 belt on the Raw brand. I can easily use the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown, or I can use the Winged Eagle title belt, which a lot of people should know. If you're old enough, you should know it's synonymous with Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, or the Attitude Era WWE Championship belt. I can use one of those easily as my main major championship for Raw or SmackDown or for both brands if I choose. So I like this a lot that they've added all these belts, because there's some belts in the current WWE I just don't particularly care for, and if I don't have to deal with them in the game, that is even better. So I like this a lot. Like I said, it's just a little thing that some people may not consider that great, but for me at least, I like it. And like I said, in my first vid, like I said, the combat system. Combat system is also something else that's really cool and really nice, a nice feature. So say you're getting the hell beat out of you. THQ called it the combat system, but I like to call it the John Cena system, due to the simple fact that this feature works where if you get beat down constantly by your opponent, if you have the special attribute, and even if a certain wrestler doesn't have the attribute, you can always change it and make them have the attribute. The combat system is where if you get beat down repeatedly, you're able to, get some extra adrenaline or some extra stamina where you can make a comeback. Now, in this combat system, it will lead you into a chain of strikes or grapples or may have you. If you complete these 3 to 4 grapples or strikes in session, you will instantly get into your finisher, and you'll be able to get into your finisher and do your finisher move on your opponent. I like this feature a lot, and like I said, they call it the comeback system, but let's be honest, it sounds a lot like something John Cena does when he gets beat the hell out of him for majority of the match and then just comes out of nowhere, with ungodly world-like strength and 2 moves and bam, you're dead. But this is still a nice feature to have in the game. Now with this, there's also something else that I like too, is that they say it's new, but it's old anyway. Like I said, once again, if you're a long-time fan or series of the SmackDown franchise, you would know that it's not old when I say this, and it's that one thing I like is that you can save your finishers. I like the fact that you can save your finishers. They brought that back, thank God, because how many times do you guys want to save your finisher? You don't want to use your finisher right away. You kind of want to save it, use it at the right moment. Because how many times because you use your finisher right away, in past SmackDown games at least, you use your finisher right away, and it's not enough to wear your opponent down, but your opponent can come back during the middle of the match and beat you, and you lose, and you're pissed off because you're like, I used my finisher, it wasn't enough, and he still was able to come back and beat the hell out of me. Well, if you want in this game, you can save your finisher, which I like a lot. So you don't have to use your finisher right away, and you can continue to ground and pound and beat the holy hound out of your opponent and save your finisher for later when you need it the most or when you think it's going to be most effective. I like this a lot. And you can save your finisher up to 3 times. So this is a nice feature that they brought back. Like I said, if you're a longtime fan of the series, longtime fan of the franchise, you know this feature goes way back since the original SmackDown games for PlayStation 1, where you can save it up to 5 times. But hey, who's counting? I'm just glad you can save them. But to save them up to 3 times, that's even better. Another thing I also like about it, about the finisher things, is that most finishing moves, you have to get into a certain lock or position in order to do your finishers. In WWE12, that's completely gone, out the window, out of sight, out of mind. You can use your finisher in any angle or anywhere on your opponent, which is awesome. So, for example, if you have to do like an edge or something, or not an edge, if you have to do like a power bomb, you'd have to have your opponent in a grappling. You have to put them in a grapple in order to put them in a power bomb. Or if you want to put your opponent in a pedigree, they have to be groggy. You have to have them standing up being groggy in order to put them into the pedigree. You don't have to do that in this game. Your opponent can just, you can pick them up. They don't have to be groggy at all. They could be, as sober as a saint, and you can still be able to perform your finisher on your opponents, making it very exciting where you can just snap a finishing move out of nowhere. So imagine if you're in a heated battle, you're in a heated match with someone, and just out of nowhere you're able just to pop out with your finishing move just like that. That's awesome. That's great, and it's a really nice. It's kind of small and minute, but it really adds to I guess the competitiveness of the game. Because like I said, imagine if you're playing someone online or in your home, and it's a really competitive match. It looks like you're losing, and just out of nowhere, you're just able to bust out with your finishing move just like that, and possibly score a victory. That is awesome. That's cool. And if you're the victor and you do something like that, power to you. That makes you extra happy, extra excited. So I really like that a lot. So once again, like I said, WWE12, good game. Not perfect, but not by far in any means is this the worst game made by THQ. Not one of the worst games in the series. Like I said, definitely, in my opinion, I think more positives than negatives. Definitely a step in the right direction for a new franchise. Hopefully, they can elevate it and evolve more off the things that they've added into this game. Like I said, I had mentioned it in my first vid, but then while watching back, I forgot I gave it a wrong score. I meant to give it one score, and I gave it something else by accident in my first vid. My first vid, I said I gave it an 8.5, but what I meant to give it really was an 8.25. So I give WWE12 an 8.25. So if you watched my first vid and I gave it an 8.5, I really didn't mean to give it an 8.5. I meant to say 8.25, but a lot of times I talk faster. I talk real fast and think at the same time and try to, speak out really quick what I'm thinking in my mind. And in my mind I'm saying 8.25, but it came out 8.5 in my first vid. So my official actual score for WWE12 is an 8.25. Like I said, good wrestling game. Controls a little bit difficult at first if you're a long time fan of the series. A little bit difficult, but very easy to pick up. Shouldn't take you no longer than 30 minutes to an hour. I do recommend you guys pick it up. Good game, fun. Like the more positives outweigh the negatives. And just like the things that you can just be able to, the creative control that you can be able to do. From stuff that was already added in the game, like story mode, and be able to create your own story mode, and create your own finishers, create your own characters, and newly added, create your own arenas, and along with the features of WWE Universe, where you could create your own brands and assign your own champions and wrestlers to those brands, really gives you, the player, an ultimate creative experience, making you, the possibilities of you creating different shows and wrestlers and putting titles and different things, it's just endless. And it will keep you busy for weeks and months to come. If not, it should keep you busy long enough until the next year's game, until the next year's game come out next year in 2012. So like I said, once again, WWE12, I rate 8.25. Comment, subscribe. If you're watching this, please watch my first vid on my review, part 1. Then come back and watch this. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, great weekend. This is the Game Matrix 1000 signing out.